Marker. Cine Lovers.
Cine Lovers.
Ooh, episode 6.
That is right. We are back.
Good day, everyone.
We are back for another episode of the Cine Lovers podcast.
Woo.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us, whether you are listening on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or watching on the YouTube. Hello.
Welcome.
So we've got a bumper episode. There's a lot to get through today. We've got some stuff to go within the news.
Sorry, early.
That is a little bit early. We've got some stuff to do with the news. We've got some new trailers to show you as well. And we have got 2 film reviews, which are The Suicide Squad and Jungle Cruise. We did manage to watch them. So we were away, but we've managed to watch them. But we will get into that later. And we do have, as always, a special mention at the end of the show. But as always, we start off with the news.
The news.
There you go. Come on, this is the big one. Let's go.
Okay. So, start off the biggest thing for me in the news, which apparently isn't news anymore. Like, apparently my parents knew about it before I did weeks ago. But, you know, some of you might not know. Benefit's back, people!
That is right. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner are no more.
They got divorced like 10 years ago or something. Maybe not quite 10 years ago. There's my pictures.
Well, I'm sorry. Here you go.
Jeez, there it is. There's the picture that shook the world. The picture that broke Instagram, so they say. And I didn't even notice it had happened. But yeah, oh my god. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for him. I love Ben so much.
Yes, for those listening, it is the picture of Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. J-Lo on her yacht celebrating her 52nd birthday.
5-2. What it do?
What it do.
That's what she said.
And it was about 3 or 4 pictures of just her in a bikini, showing great figure for a 52-year-old woman. And then it's finally making it official to the media and the public that Benefit is back.
I'm so happy. He deserves some happiness. So, for some history on their relationship, so girly right now. And they met in 2001 on the film Gigli, which we then forgot about. I've not even seen it, but you know, I don't think anyone wants to. And then they were together from 2002 to 2004, and they did get engaged. Obviously, they were famously in Jennifer's music video, Jenny from the Block, which is a favourite. But they kept putting their wedding date off due to excessive media pressure, and eventually split. So sad. Obviously, he went on to marry Jennifer Garner. He likes his Jennifers.
Had a few kids.
Yeah, had a few kids. They sadly divorced, obviously, years ago now. But yes, here they are back together, him and Jennifer Lopez. And I'm so happy that he's got some happiness. He deserves it. Yeah.
Yes, Benefit is back.
Jennifer is back. Woo!
But speaking of being back, I mean, it's been 2-3 weeks since we've had an MCU Disney show. And we got our first look.
We did.
At Hawkeye, which will be released in November on Disney Plus. The next, is it the fourth Disney Plus MCU show this year. Obviously, all taking place around after Black Widow time.
I'm just thinking, obviously, we're going to be having What If before Hawkeye even comes out, because that is coming out soon. But that's animated, so.
Apparently, though, with What If, they have said that they wouldn't be surprised if we did see some live action spin-off movies from What If. So maybe that is something that Hayley Atwell will come back for.
That's exciting.
Him.
Bring Hayley back.
Yeah. So I mean, like you said, it's a What If. It's kind of leaning more towards the multiverse. So why not have more movies? So, but for now, we've got the new MCU Disney Plus show Hawkeye, which is November 24th, I believe, on Disney Plus. Our first look at Jeremy Renner playing the titular role, and Haley Steinfeld playing the young protege.
Also the titular role, because Kate Bishop, who's the character, is also a Hawkeye.
And it's definitely setting up for future phases with the Young Avengers as well. So.
Yeah, she was apparently in Young Avengers and, was it Pacific Avengers or West Coast Avengers?
West Coast Avengers.
Which is cool. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they do together. We love Hayley, so
yes,
yeah,
definitely.
cool.
We had quite a lot of first look pictures, didn't we? Over the last few weeks. And the next one that I remember seeing was See How They Run.
See How They Run. I hadn't heard anything about this until we saw the picture on Instagram.
Yeah, so it's Saoirse Ronan and Sam Rockwell.
Immediately got my attention. Said, Jamie, what's this?
Well, what is it?
Headed straight over to IMDb. I did.
She did.
And it is a tale of a director in New York, I believe, or somewhere like that. Oh, desperate Hollywood film producer. Sorry, that's the one. And he wants to make a play, and then there's a murder.
There's been a murder
amongst the cast. A few murders, I believe. And then in come Sam Rockwell and Saoirse Ronan as the detective and constable.
Sherlock and Holmes.
Pretty much. To investigate the goings-on whodunit. So, yeah.
A nice little whodunit.
And it's a nice period piece as well, which I like.
So, yeah, that's another first look that we had.
Excited for that.
And we also got a first look at a new documentary by Formula One 7-time world champion, the German himself, Michael Schumacher, the legend of Ferrari. That we got a small little picture and announcement that will be coming, I believe, to Netflix.
I believe so,
on September 15th. So
that's right,
Schumacher will be coming out then.
Obviously, as Jamie says, 7-time champion. We'll remember him when we were younger. Watched it.
Tied with Lewis Hamilton
now.
Tied with
Hamilton now, whatever. Schumacher's still the greatest. All remember watching him as kids in F1 on a Saturday, Sunday mornings. Just absolutely loved him. And then obviously, sadly, he had his accident skiing in 2013, wasn't it? And obviously, we've really not heard much of his progress since. So it's quite sad, but it'll be nice to go and look back at the amazing career and life that he has had, and yeah, so I'm excited. Yeah, Coach Schumacher is great. So that's coming in September.
And what about this one? Because I know you are excited. You can see that smile on her face for the next one.
I'm so excited.
So this one seems to just go under the radar for us. It apparently got announced in June, July.
Yeah.
That there will be a live-action Barbie movie starring Margot Robbie. But not only that.
Well, first of all, we did know about it a while ago that it was potentially happening, but it's been confirmed in July, June, July. And as James says, Margot, who I love, she's amazing, obviously, as Harley and every other role that she's in. But one of my other favourite girls, Greta Gerwig, is going to be directing, obviously director of Lady Bird and Women. Absolutely amazing director. And I know one of our friends out there, Aaron, is a particular fan, so he'll be excited as well to see her next feature. So I think it's going to be a very interesting take on Barbie, and I'm really excited to see it. And I think Margot is absolutely perfect person to play her as well. So yeah.
And so filming for that, I believe, begins in 2022.
Yeah.
So
not quite yet. They got a bit of a wait, but something to look forward to.
But you can always just keep checking with us. I'm sure we'll have an update eventually about Barbie.
Totally.
So another one that obviously that's 2022.
Yeah.
There was another one that has just kind of started production, I believe, and we are talking about Clerks 3.
Woo!
We had Jay and Silent Bob reboot not so long ago. I think about 2 years ago, rebooting the Jay and Silent Bob franchise. And now we are getting Clerks 3. So
yeah, man.
As you can see from this picture, we can see Kevin Smith in a little hoodie, but it's not just kind of any old hoodie.
It's not.
What kind of hoodie is it?
So Kevin Smith posted this picture this week. It was last week actually, because I've been poorly, so I'm a little bit behind my days. I've kind of lost a week. He posted this picture on Instagram last week, saying that they are starting filming of Clerks 3 on Monday. So that is this Monday just gone. They've started, and it turns out they have some kind of like Jay and Silent Bob like museum or something with loads of the props and everything in it. And this hoodie is from the original Clerks film that he wore then as Silent Bob, and it's been in this kind of museum place. and they got it out to check it out, thinking they just need to have a look at it and to make a new one to fit him now. He's like, it still fits, it's perfect. It's a little bit worn and like musty and stuff, but I mean, that's what it would be. So he's wearing the original hoodie from Clerks in the film of Clerks 3. I mean, I'm so excited. I absolutely love the View Askew universe. So I'm excited to have the original cast from both Clerks and Clerks 2 coming back. Obviously, Brian O'Halloran, obviously Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes, and yeah, a few of the others, Rosario Dawson. So yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and we also think, I mean, I don't really want to talk about this one because, you know, it's Lord of the Rings.
So yeah, I think a few people have probably seen this one out there actually.
All I can say is, thank God, if you are watching on YouTube, the picture's taking up the screen so you can't see the disgust on my face.
Yeah, so we got this first look image of the Lord of the Rings TV show that I did mention to you guys the other week. This is all we've got. Jamie's pulling the face. This is all we've got. I saw like absolutely nothing else. I did read some notes somewhere about what people are theorizing this scene to be, and I forgot to write them down, so apologies about that. But yeah, I know, yeah, great research there. I've done a lot of research for everything else. But yeah, for me, I mean, I think, you know, possibly that figure could be some kind of elf, very tall, elven-like figure. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with this. The cast is incredibly interesting, and that's something I do want to mention. If you want to take the pitch down now, babe, thanks. And I'll just talk at the screen. The cast, majority of are unknowns, or you know, there's a couple of faces you might recognise. The one I want to point out, I don't know if you've heard about this, Lenny Henry. Sir Lenny Henry of Comic Relief, of, you know, all of that, of Premier Inn fame. So Lenny Henry is in the new Lord of the Rings TV show. I mean, I'm just excited to see. I'm just excited to see the strangeness of all of that, to be honest. So yeah. Oh, something else I forgot to mention about Kevin Smith. Obviously, we mentioned Masters of the Universe Revelation film that he made for Netflix, and it came out while we were on holiday last week, and so I've missed it. I've not seen it yet. But he put something on Instagram out about how the internet hate him for it, and that makes me really sad. You think that you've heard the fans don't really like it, haven't you?
Well, apparently so. If you look on the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, it's got really good critic reviews, but the fans just don't seem to have enjoyed it. I'm not a massive He-Man or She-Ra fan, so I can't really comment, unfortunately. But
well, I'm gonna go and check it out this next week, and I will give you my opinion next time. But don't be sad, Kevin, because we love you.
Yeah, so we are well under production and filming of the new Scorsese Killings of the Flower
Killers
Moon.
of the Flower Moon.
What did I say?
Killings.
Killings. Sorry, the Killers of the Flower Moon. Jesus, there you go. We got that out there. So it's the new film starring Jesse Plemons, Robert De Niro. We've got Leonardo DiCaprio. And there has been a new announcement of a new actor joining, and that is
Brendan Fraser. Rick O'Connell
I thought
himself.
You said Sir Brendan Fraser.
I did say Sir Brendan Fraser.
Sir Brendan Fraser. He hasn't been knighted.
Yes.
Yet.
Rick O'Connell himself. And we'll talk a bit more about Rick O'Connell later.
Yes, Ben from Scrubs. Brendan Fraser is in the new Scorsese movie. He's rejuvenated his acting career recently. He's been in a few DC shows, Titans, and the spin-off Doom Patrol as well. And he was in Trust as well, which is based off the true story, which is also All the Money in the World.
Oh, yes.
About them as well. So he's rejuvenated his career. He's now in a big Scorsese movie, and Scorsese is known for making really good Oscar picture-worthy films. So maybe we'll see a supporting acting nomination for Brendan Fraser.
That would be really exciting. That would be so cool for his career. I mean, like you said, he's in quite a few things recently, but obviously he's not been anything massive for a really long time, you know. And a lot of people have kind of forgotten about him. He was at Comic-Con the other year when we went. And he did have a massive queue because I wanted to go and say hi, but it was a bit of a queue. So yeah, it's really cool to see him coming back into something big. And just to show that he still does have what it takes, And I mean, a Scorsese film, that's huge. Obviously excited to see Leo. And I've been reading a bit about what this story is about. It's based on a book by David Gran, I can't remember him writing. But it's about members of a tribe in the States that was murdered during a kind of a mysterious, under mysterious circumstances in the 1920s, and it became a major FBI investigation, which involved J. Edgar Hoover. And I said to myself, is Leo reprising his role? No, he's not. But still, though, I know that'll probably be an issue that is quite important to Leonardo DiCaprio, based on like things that I know about the subjects he cares about. So it'll be interesting to see that and to hear what he has to say about it as well. So yeah, Killers of the Flower Moon.
And on to our final part of the news, which was recently announced just after the Suicide Squad premiere. That is Xolo. That is right. It is Miguel Diaz from the TV show Cobra Kai. Will be joining the DC universe as Blue Beetle.
The first ever Latin superhero.
Exactly.
On the screen, anyway. That the Blue Beetle actually is quite a young character. It was 2006. He first appeared. So that's quite cool that we've got more of the newer characters coming through. So, but I'm excited to see Xolo stepping forward into the movie world, and it was really cool to see him at the Suicide Squad premiere as well, announcing that it was like he's been welcomed into the family. So that's cool.
Speaking of the Suicide premiere, we don't have a picture of it, but did you see who Taika Waititi is officially dating?
No.
Rita Ora.
Ah.
There you go.
That's weird.
Yeah. So Taika Waititi and Rita Ora were seen together. That is breaking news from Mercedes. She didn't know. I kept that for her just there. But we are talking about Xolo.
Wait. Go on. If you're going to move on to the next bit, I just want to explain a little bit about Blue Beetle, because I mean I've never heard of him before. And the character is a Mexican teen who finds a alien beetle, and it gives him superpowered armor. So there that is. So I'm excited to see it. I'm sure they'll do it. I'm sure they'll do an amazing job. I love DC and we love Xolo. So yeah, they're not going to start filming just yet, so they just announced it. So yeah, not too sure when that's going to happen.
No, he's just officially been announced. They were saying, they posted, I believe DC posted that they were in negotiations with Xolo to become Blue Beetle, and then Xolo posted on Instagram to say he was so excited to join the DC universe, and he's basically been confirmed. And he used the words, "I'm a fucking superhero." Well, freaking superhero, I believe. So sorry about the swearing there. But there you go. I'm a freaking superhero.
Yeah, you are.
Put on Instagram. So I mean, he's not only just a freaking superhero.
Just a DC superhero. He's an elsewhere superhero.
He is. I mean, luckily we did start filming today. Otherwise, we would have completely missed it and had to wait 2 weeks to talk about it. But they have officially released the teaser for Cobra Kai Season 4, and they have announced the release date, coming this December on Netflix.
Cobra Kai. December!
Coming this December. So they haven't officially released the date, so hopefully it'll be around the holiday season so everyone can be off and watch it all in one day again, like we did on New Year's Day, watching Season 3 that we waited so long for. We didn't even have to wait a year for Season 4, which I'm happy with. So
almost a year.
Yeah, but I mean, we waited 2 to 3 years for Season 3 because they filmed it all, and then YouTube got rid of it, and then it went to Netflix, and then blah blah. We had to wait to build the fan base before they released Season 3. So we're getting it a year, just under a year, before Season 3 premiered on Netflix. So we didn't have to wait that long. Cobra Kai Season 4, The Fight for the Valley, for the Pride of the Valley, I believe it was. So
yeah, and they did a little bit of a trailer for it, didn't they? And you want a trailer, just them all kind of stood there.
Yeah, so that is Cobra Kai Season 4, and I think that transitions beautifully.
Transitions nicely, yeah.
It's a nice little segue to our trailer time. So we're going to be talking about some of the trailers that have recently been released.
That was the news.
That was the news. But we are now
trailers.
On trailers.
We have a lot of trailers to get through as well, guys. There's a lot to talk about today. So, to start off with, I think one of the most anticipated ones, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Oh my god, that trailer was mint. I've not used that word in a while.
Mint?
It was mint.
Kendall mint.
Yeah, Kendall mint. Oh my god, like I'm so excited for it. It is not disappointing so far. It's obviously taking, if you've seen the trailer, you can tell it's taking quite a Stranger Things kind of route, you know. Obviously they know that's a successful formula at the moment. People absolutely love Stranger Things, so it's a cool idea to take it down that route. Obviously you do have Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things, who's playing Trevor, and his sister Phoebe. They are the grandchildren of Egon, one of the original Ghostbusters. So it's basically, it looks like these guys are moving out to an old farm building that Egon has left for the family, and they start to discover a few things whilst they're rooting around. Of course, Paul Rudd is the adult kind of leader through it all, and he kind of teaches them about who their grandfather was by showing them all the retro adverts for Ghostbusters and things. So yeah, it looks amazing. It looks like Stranger Things meets a bit of like, I don't know, a bit of Jumanji thrown in there with like the craziness in the streets and the car, and you know, Paul Rudd with his beard, a little bit like Robin Williams with his beard. I don't know. I'm getting excited.
Just talking.
I'm getting excited. And obviously at the very end of the trailer, we see an arm and hear a voice. And of course that is
I didn't know Dan Aykroyd was in this picture.
I didn't know Dan Aykroyd was in this picture. Exactly. Dan Aykroyd does appear, but not appear at the end, which is really, really exciting. Oh, and also Annie Potts, who plays Janine. Obviously, the amazing receptionist in Ghostbusters. She's also in it. So, yeah, I mean, I'm excited. You got anything to say?
I mean, you basically said everything that needed to be said about it.
Thought you might want to say you're excited.
No, like I said, there's they had a lot of homage to the Ghostbusters franchise. They had a lot of different bits with the fridge and stuff, and then the ghost and the Sigourney Weaver scene with the fridge, and like you said, with Dan Aykroyd at the end with the little cameo as well. So there's a lot of homage in there for Ghostbusters Afterlife. I don't think they've released the official date as of yet, but
not sure.
But Ghostbusters Afterlife will be here soon, finally, as it was supposed to be released last year.
Nice. That's my most anticipated trailer.
Yes, and to one of the least anticipated films, Dune, coming soon to cinemas and HBO Max for our US listeners and people that live over there. Not much to say about it. It's a remake of the David Lynch movie, which is from the 80s, starring Timothy Chalamet.
Come on, give it a bit more credit. Okay, so we have not seen. Have you seen the original? I'm guessing you haven't. We've not seen the original. The book is like that thick. I've never read it, but I've always been intrigued to watch the original. I've always grown up into my sci-fi, so it's something I had planned to watch at some point. But now the new one's out, so maybe I'll watch the original first. But I mean, the cast is pretty decent. You know, you've got Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya, Rebecca Ferguson, Jason Momoa, Dave Bautista, Stellan Skarsgård, Oscar Isaacs, you know, Josh Brolin. It's just like, it's a great cast. The story's intriguing. My dad's told me a bit more about the story, and yeah, I'm keen to watch it. You know, you don't have to come. I might just go with my dad. But yeah,
mark my words, it will be one of the biggest flops of the year.
I think it looks like that they've done it for the fans. It's got
a really big fan base.
Yeah, so I think it looks like they've shot it for the fans.
But apparently, from what I hear from people that enjoy the book and stuff, is the book is too long to be just a film. It should be like a more of a mini series. So how they can fit everything into one book, unless they're going to look to do more of a more than one film, or have like a franchise of it going into mini series and spin-offs and stuff. I'm not sure, but I'm not really excited for it. we'll see closer to the time. I believe that it comes out in October, as you can see on the screen there. So we will see in cinemas here in the UK in October, and in the US simultaneously with HBO Max as well. So, yeah, I mean, just like every week, we're going to talk about MCU, aren't we? Because there's a film coming out every other month. We've got Shang-Chi.
Another trailer. I think we've had about 3 or 4 now. I just rewatched the trailer again. There's a few more extra things in it, but we don't need any more trailers. Let's just wait for the film to come out now.
Let's get the film out. There you go.
Yeah, I think it's out in September, I believe. So not long to wait. I do feel like when I was watching it, I kind of stopped paying attention a little bit, and I thought, I feel like everyone's a bit over Marvel.
Did you get any Sonic vibes because he's collecting rings?
No. There's only one Sonic. But no, I just kind of felt like I don't feel like there's excitement around it. I don't even feel like, to be honest, there's that much excitement around Eternals anymore. I mean, seeing how quiet the cinema was for Black Widow, a Marvel film, like, I feel like there's been a bit of a dip because we've had that massive year without anything. And like somebody said, like it was a long time for Black Widow, it was a long time to stay interested in a character that had died and go back for the prequel of it. And I feel like that's also reflects the interest of the Marvel stuff. Everyone was so hyped and we were probably ready for all the new stuff, and then we've lost a year. And I am still looking forward to it, but I feel like the hype's gone down a lot.
You forget as well, though, obviously with the pandemic, I know some people might not want to come out of the house, whatever.
Yeah.
And people do have the Disney Plus Premier option. So a lot of people, especially families of four or more, will probably choose to stay home because they're going to save more money by staying at home and renting it on Disney Plus Premier access for $15.99. If you think you've got a family of 4 paying £5 a ticket per person, that's £20 there. You could rather sit at home, have a good time, order a pizza from Domino's, and then watch it at home, for example. So I think a lot of people, it is a viable option for anybody that's got a family. I mean, even 2 people, say if we went out, sometimes we might go out for a meal beforehand, and then the prices, I know we've got limitless, so obviously we kind of don't count, but then you're looking at the cinema price tickets of £7-8 in some places, some even £5. I mean, for an extra $5.99 for the 2 of us, we could get that film and watch it at home.
That's true, but that could explain, the quietness of the cinemas. But what I'm talking about is just the general hype. Say, just when you're around other people and in conversation, no one's really talking about the next Marvel films anymore. In the conversations I would usually have, people are excited about the TV shows on Disney Plus, but no one, my kind of friends that I would talk about that stuff, if I'd ever mentioned Shang-Chi or Black Widow or whatever, they're just like, yeah, no.
I think but
we'll see close to this.
I think with Black Widow, like you say, though, it's one of those that you can't really get excited for somebody that you know is. For everybody that has seen Avengers Endgame, you know what happens to the character, and then obviously it's a prequel as well, so you know she ain't gonna die because she's in Avengers Infinity War and everything after. So it kind of takes away a little bit of excitement there as well. And then they're bringing in these newer characters like Eternals and Shang-Chi, which are completely new and different. You talk about why people are excited for the TV shows, it's because these characters that we know.
I know that, yeah.
Whereas these ones, you're not sure what to think. I'm sure as soon as a Spider-Man trailer gets released, everybody's just gonna lose their shit.
Yeah, the Spider-Man trailer is going to be amazing.
When is it No Way Home? When that comes out, No Way Home, Long Way Home.
No Way.
No Way Home. It's a long way home.
Ewan McGregor and Charlie Boorman,
yeah. There you go. So yeah, when Spider-Man trailer comes out, it's definitely going to be a little bit more exciting. But I think
I agree.
That's it for Marvel for the day.
Yeah, I think so.
Thank God. Okay.
I think so, yeah.
I think there's about 1 or 2 more Disney stuff, but there you go. Because of course. But we'll talk about something completely different now. And you talk about franchises. You talk about the greatest franchise in history. In sports, it's the Williams. See, did you like that segue? There you go.
It was nice.
So, yes, Venus and Serena Williams, the story of their father. In fact, it's not about them, it's about their father. Played by the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air himself, William Smith.
That's right, it's King Richard.
King Richard. And like I said, this film, it follows the younger versions of Serena and Venus Williams and their coach father, Richard, who basically trains them and takes them into the life of professional tennis.
Yeah, the trailer actually does look quite good. I was quite intrigued by it. Seeing like the character of their father and what he was like. I quite like the look of it. So I've never been a massive fan of Venus and Serena, but I'm not that into tennis either. But yeah, I'm excited. So obviously you'd be more excited because you love your tennis. So yeah.
And like I said, Serena and Venus, two of the greatest tennis players of all time, especially in the women's game. Serena Williams had a massive hold on Wimbledon and the Grand Slams in all of tennis as well. So it'd be nice. I mean, the girls did look like Serena and Venus.
Yeah,
like
they cast the girls really well.
Really good. So looking forward to seeing what it's going to be like. I mean, judging from obviously the kind of story that it looks like it's going to tell, I mean, could be an outsider for an Oscar nomination.
I think so.
Yeah. And maybe at least an acting nomination for Willie
I think he'll get one.
Willie Smith then.
I think he'll get one.
Yeah. But
what I'm more excited about.
What are you more excited about?
I'm excited for the first time ever about Lady Gaga.
For the first time ever.
Yeah. Oh my god. So this is House of Gucci, starring Lady Gaga, Adam Driver.
And who's that guy?
Who do you think that is right there? That, ladies and gentlemen, that is Jared Leto. That's who that is. I'll have you know. My God.
The lead singer from 30 Seconds to Mars.
Yes. The Joker himself. The guy.
The Joker himself.
The guy,
Joaquin Phoenix.
The guy from
Jack Nicholson.
The guy from American Psycho. I can't remember his character's name.
That was Batman, Christian Bale.
The dude from
Paul Allen.
Dallas Buyers Club as well.
Paul Allen from American Psycho. I'm ashamed.
Paul Allen.
I'm ashamed.
I love you too. And Jeremy Irons, who in the pictures I've seen and trailers, Jeremy Irons looks like an older Taron Egerton. Jeremy Irons looking good. Don't know how Taron feels about it. I think he would quite like that compliment. Jeremy Irons is cool and handsome and smart. But yeah, this trailer looks amazing. Lady Gaga looks fierce in it. Like her character and Adam Driver's character is just like
Yeah, and I'm not sure if I'm the only one who did this, but
no, I did it too.
Got a little bit confused with the Versace kind of thing going on here. Very, very similar to a degree the way that everything went down. You got two fashion icons and a gun.
Yeah, because the trailer finished with Gucci, Adam Driver, getting shot. So it's no spoiler. It's a trailer and it's
real
true
life
story.
happening.
So and I sat there and went to myself, I'm so glad I didn't say this to him. But then I was really glad that he did the same thing. I sat there and thought, I need to watch the TV show first that I've still not watched that I really want to watch. Yeah, the assassination of Giovanni.
And I've seen
Giovanni
the TV show.
Versace, not Gucci. So, but yeah, he made the mistake too. So.
And I've seen the show.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, oh, it's set in Miami.
Yeah.
No. I'm pretty sure it happened in Miami actually.
But no, the trailer looks incredible. So yeah, get it watched if you've not seen the trailer yet. I'm super stoked. So.
I mean, Adam Driver looks like he's gonna have a big year. I mean,
he
two
does.
big films that could go forward for an Oscar. I'm thinking Lady Gaga might get a nomination for this one.
I think she
Everything
will.
that she does at the moment just seems to be incredible. Star is Born was her last big film.
Yeah, Jared will get a supporting nom.
Just because of that transformation.
Hair and makeup will get a nom as well for that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, excited. Next.
Jesus, okay, why is she getting so excited? Oh, that's why it's a little dog. Oh, it's a monkey. It's a little monkey, everyone.
So, new from Sony Pictures Animation, this is Vivo, and this is going on Netflix.
Tomorrow,
or today, if you're watching
or listening
because we're putting this out on Friday, the 6th of August. Friday the 6th of August, Vivo. I am going to admit, I've just rewatched the trailer. I am definitely more excited about the music than the whole thing.
Why?
So we were watching the trailer last week or earlier this week or whenever it was, and I'm like, nah. And then suddenly some music starts. And we were like, is it? Could it be? It's Lin-Manuel!
For his 5th time this week.
Yeah. I mean, he's in he's also doing the music for Encanto. So he's done the music for Vivo, and he's also voicing Vivo, who is the little monkey down there in the basket. So he's voicing the main character in this. But I remember when I watched this trailer, I was like, okay, so Disney are letting him do that as well, though. So I bet Disney are trying to get him. I bet they're trying to like bring him in to be their music person, but he's not. He's like, no, I am going to spread my love and joy around. And if you want to try and trap me, then you can't have me at all. I reckon that's what he's doing, because that's what I do.
Or just likes money.
No, but like you wouldn't want to just be with just one, you know.
He's a creative person. He likes to go and do a range of different stuff.
Exactly, you'd want to do a range. And yeah, so I'm excited about this because of his music, and it does look like a nice story as well. It's about, I think it's a kind of love story, and the monkey is the sending the message of love or something like that. But yeah, out tomorrow.
She just listened to the music.
I just listened to the music. So, but I'm going to watch it next week because you won't want to watch it. But yeah, Vivo tomorrow.
And another one I won't want to watch because this just came out of nowhere.
So, have you watched the trailer for this yet?
No.
No, okay. So, I watched the trailer for this yesterday or the day before. It's called Together. And what's funny is when I was looking it up on IMDb and on Google for pictures and stuff, I think the States, this is a British film, I think in the States they've made exactly the same film and it's called Together. So
this is a British remake of the American film.
No, they've both been made like roughly around the same time. It's about lockdown. So this film is about lockdown, and the American one looks kind of the same. So I'm pretty sure
with Ed Helms.
With Ed Helms, yeah. So I'm pretty sure they've been made at the same time, and they've gone, oh, we want a similar title. Well, we'll just add another word, the same word. This one is James McAvoy and Sharon Hogan, and it's an interesting take and an interesting look at what we've all been going through throughout the lockdown of COVID. It's kind of a fly on the wall thing in that, like, you are watching it, like you are watching it, but then they also break the fourth wall a lot and talk to the camera. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm intrigued to watch it.
So it's similar to like your mockumentaries of Modern Family, The Office, Parks and Rec, where they'll be talking and
possibly,
then they'll be having a little bit of a scene and then break away and speak to the camera and sit down with
like
the candid interviews.
But they also kind of like Jim does in the Office, kind of just look at the camera as well whilst they're in the moment, that kind of thing. Exactly. So it's something a bit different. I'm intrigued. I'll watch it. I like James, and it's obviously current and topical. So yeah, Together.
Yeah, I mean, at least we can talk about superhero movies because it's not always just dominated by Marvel.
No, it's not. Well, we've already talked about DC.
I'll say MCU, sorry, because this one isn't an MCU movie, but it is Marvel.
It is Marvel, yeah. What are you on about?
I meant MCU. I mean, because there is other stuff. It's not because
no, I know it's not.
It's Sony Pictures. Marvel. It's not MCU. It's not ruined by Disney, as some of them are. But this one is Venom. Let There Be Carnage, and it is the sequel to the movie Venom, which was a surprise hit. I think a lot of people thinking it was going to fail, maybe because the preconceptions of Spider-Man 3 and that little dancing down the street or whatever he did back then. Good old Danger Peter Parker. But yeah, it looks really fun, quite gory and silly, this one as well. Doesn't look like it takes itself too seriously. I think it's just going to be one of those fun films that come out and people will enjoy it and can't really complain.
Yeah, I did enjoy Venom. I forgot a lot of it after I'd seen it. I didn't think it had been that much of a hit, to be honest, but obviously it warranted a second one. So I think what I didn't like about the first one is they killed a lamb. I didn't like that. I wasn't happy about that. But yeah, this one does look fun. I do like the character of Venom. He's really fun and quite hilarious. And I like the interaction that Venom, the character, and Tom Hardy have together, but also more importantly with the shopkeeper lady that they live near. I really love that interaction. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, the amazing Woody Harrelson is in it and playing Carnage, and return of Michelle Williams as well. So yeah, I'm excited to see that.
Nice. And what about the next one? Are you excited?
No.
For? No. No. So
no, I'm not.
This next one is
intrigued. But
intrigued. The weird thing, this is a musical, this one, but from watching the trailer for the new Cinderella film, directed by Kate Cannon, who did the Pitch Perfect films, the later ones anyway.
Well, I didn't like later ones so much.
Yeah, she directed that, and I think she directed something else I can't think of at the moment. She is directing this film starring Camila Cabello, the singer, playing the titular role again of Cinderella.
I like that word.
The titular role, I do. It's a great word, isn't it? I mean, you don't get to say it much. But yes, she is Cinderella, and the music in this one, it doesn't look like it's original music from.
You know what? We only watched trailer yesterday. I can't remember.
Because I know they were definitely singing Queen's "Somebody to Love" at one point, unless the rest of it has got some original music in it. I don't know. I haven't listened to recent music in a while, so I mean, Camila Cabello is obviously quite a famous singer. I believe she released that really big song Havana.
Oh yeah, I like that. She's got, when we were watching the trailer yesterday and she was singing, I said she's got a very Disney voice. I didn't know if she was a Disney brat or not. I kind of presumed she was.
I'm not 100% sure.
I thought you'd know that. You usually know. But yeah, she's got a very Disney voice. What I do remember actually from the trailer is what they've done for the story is the classic modern thing that they do these days with stories about women, which a lot of people like. I'm like, it's nice, it's a cool idea, but you don't need to change things too much. It's basically they've, instead of her, wanting to marry the prince and find love and all of that, she's wanting to have her fashion career. And she meets the prince and he likes her and wants to marry her, and she's not sure because she doesn't want to just be a princess, she wants her fashion career. But you still have the basis of the evil stepmother and all that, and her not wanting to do that. And who was playing the stepmother? It was somebody.
Idina Menzel.
That was it. Jeez. Yeah, I knew it was somebody. So yeah, and of course it was filmed, or in part, in Blackpool.
Yeah, which is our hometown.
Yes, which, sorry, is where we're from. And I think it may have been the ballroom that they were filming, from what I've seen.
Yeah, and there was a great bit, like I said, that you got Billy Porter playing the fairy godmother. Who comes down and obviously does the whole magical scene where she changes into the dress and stuff and brings the mice to life, which was James Corden and Ramesh Ranganathan.
Yeah, and some other guy.
And some other guy, which I didn't really get a look at because Ramesh was on the screen. I mean,
amazing.
How great is that, to be fair? So yeah, Ramesh Ranganathan and James Corden, which I know everybody was like, James Corden musical.
Yeah.
But there you go. We'll see how much he actually does in regards to singing. I did hear his voice earlier on in the film. Obviously, I think he plays Gus or one of the mice. Anyway, is Gus in Cinderella? Isn't he?
Yes, Gus is little fat mouse.
So James
With
Corden.
the green hat.
So that'll be James Corden. And yeah, but it looks okay. I mean, it's going directly onto Amazon Prime. So I believe that will be hitting Amazon Prime in September.
I mean, there's been that many different Cinderella retellings now. I mean, there are a lot of other stories that they can retell. I don't know what it is about Cinderella that they like to do. I know, but there's so many other fairy tales like Snow White.
It's just the classic rags to riches and stuff, isn't it? But obviously, Emerald Fennell did the musical as well for Andrew Lloyd Webber as well, which has come out at a very similar time as well. I just had its world premiere last month as well. So it's interesting time. Camila Cabello obviously making her acting debut. I believe she was a singer in Fifth Harmony. That's how she got her start. She wasn't a Disney brat or anything. She was on like the X Factor USA in Fifth Harmony.
Fair enough.
But yeah, well, that is Cinderella.
I like the Lily James version.
Yes, you do. And I think we have got one more trailer that came to us yesterday as well.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And
there kind of three, but yeah, this one we just discovered last night, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. And I mean, we could have maybe leaned in more towards the Cobra Kai kind of thing here as well, and had like three in a row for Cobra Kai because we love it so much. But Tanner Buchanan, who plays Robbie, Johnny Lawrence's son in Cobra Kai, is playing the role of Rachel Lee Cook in the 90s.
That's a good memory.
It is a remake and retelling of the 90s classic She's All That, but titled
He's All That.
Smart. So I believe it stars Instagram superstar, don't know her name,
Rachel Lee Cook.
Rachel Lee Cook's the original.
Oh, well, I swear that's what it's on IMDb. Obviously not. Maybe she's in it as like a cameo. You just did say that.
I did just say that.
I wrote my notes down before I came upstairs.
Rachel Lee Cook is the original with Freddie Prinze Jr. in the 90s.
Well,
but yeah, Tanner Buchanan plays kind of the. So anyway, for people that don't know what the story is, it is the story of Addison Rae. That's who plays. Addison Rae's the main character. She's quite big on Instagram and TikTok or whatever. She's a big social media thing. She's actually making her acting debut in this movie as well. Mm-hmm. But the story anyway is Addison Rae's character, really popular, but something happens with her boyfriend. Finds out that he's cheated on her, and he basically, because of that, she loses a bit of popularity. So she's like, I made this guy, I can make any guy popular, or prom queen. Yeah. So she has a bet with her friends that she can do that. She can turn any guy into prom queen. Prom king. The classic. But like I said, swapped around obviously, and She's All That. It's not like that. Freddie Prinze Jr. says that he can turn anyone into prom queen just by dating him. And this is swapped around, so her friends pick the
they pick the worst guy they can pick, they think, and he's just like a little farm poor boy. It's kind of what he's portrayed as in the, like, he works on a farm, long,
he's
raggy hair and wears
long raggy hair, beanie. There you go. He's definitely a poor kid. And that's why they choose him. Yeah, the poor dirty kid. And then obviously, if you watch Cobra Kai, you know he's not like that.
And I'm sorry, but right. So you told me about this ages ago, and that Tanner Buchanan had been chosen for this, and I was like, okay. And literally, in the trailer, you're just like, I'm like, you can't hide that beauty. Like, they've probably like just put like some tramp outfit on him. Yeah, they have. Like, they've just given him like this tramp wig and beanie and stubble, and tried to hide it because they just didn't know, like, well, they could have painted it on, you know, but they didn't know what to do. Like, it's like the casting people chose him, and the hair and makeup people just went, are you kidding me? Like, how do we hide this? And I mean, they did what they could. But I mean, he's a very handsome young man, and it obviously, when he's revealed, it's not a surprise. But yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm excited again, like I said for Sholo, we're excited to see Tanner come out and do his first big film. And there's a song in it which is in the original film, am I right? From the trailer.
Sixpence None the Richer, Kiss Me.
Yeah, but I haven't really seen the original film. I think I've only seen parts of it. So, but when that song came on in the trailer, you said that was in the original film.
It's the bit where she walks down the stairs for the first time, all pretty, and that's when that song plays. Sixpence None the Richer, Kiss Me. Great song.
Yeah.
That's your 90s, early 2000s kind of like song, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. But this one looks like it's going to be fun.
Yeah. And I was waiting for it. I was teeing you up right there.
I forgot.
Obviously watching the trailer, and all of a sudden this guy pops up.
Like this, at the end, in the darkness.
Yeah, just dancing.
And only we and some other people we know would know who that was in that split second. And we looked at each other, and I said, it wasn't, was it? It was. It's Matthew Lillard! Matthew Lillard is in this film. Yeah, he is. I'm so excited.
Most likely the only saving grace.
My old buddy. Hey, you were looking forward to this.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you were excited about it when you told me about it. No, I swear. Okay, well, I'm excited about it.
It's like some Instagram star doing a random film.
It's Tanner. And I like the different take on it. So we'll see. And Matthew Lillard's in it. Probably playing a teacher or a parent or something. So.
Most likely. It looked like he was a DJ.
All that.
But that is mainly it for the trailers that we planned, but then they decided to throw some 2 others out there.
Yeah, TV shows.
Pretty late on, and we're just kind of like, oh god, there's so much more to fit in. So we're just going to quickly talk about these ones.
Yeah.
They have just announced that American Crime Story will have their new season, which is Impeachment, which is all about the scandal in 1995 between Monica Lewinsky and the president at the time as well, which my mind is just completely blank. Bill Clinton. There you go. It was coming to me whilst I was saying it. Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. Obviously, the American Crime Story. They've already done The People versus OJ, and they've also done The Assassination of Gianni Versace. They've all been great TV shows. Obviously, it's done by Ryan Murphy, famous for Glee, Hollywood, and he's also American Horror Story as well. So it was only just a quick teaser, just explaining what the new season is. You see Monica Lewinsky walking into the office while they do that. But there was another one which we are kind of excited for, which is going to be released on Sunday.
Oh, you got a picture?
I got a picture of this one because, you know, we're excited because it's coming out on Sunday. So the first episode will be on Stars, and it stars Stephen Amell.
Of Green Arrow.
Of Green Arrow, of course. He's moved straight into another TV show. And he is known to be quite a big wrestling fan as well. He's wrestled for WWE and AEW as well. He's good friends with Cody Rhodes over in AEW, and he did a lot of training for this. It is called Heels, and it's all about a family of wrestlers, and he's the older brother, and his younger brother is one of the Skarsgårds. I don't know if he's a Skarsgård.
No.
There's so many different Skarsgårds there, but his younger brother anyway is like a really talented up and coming wrestler, and he can basically make it to the big time. But Stephen Amell's kind of like, no, I'm the big guy in the family kind of thing. Looking at the trailer, so it's this whole family dynamics on here, and the film takes its title from the classic wrestling term of face and heels. Heels being the bad guys, face being the good guys. And it's basically, like I said. So
yeah, so the fella you talked about, you're confused because his name's Alexander Ludwig, and fans of Vikings and the Hunger Games will know him. I obviously recognised him when I've seen clips of Vikings. I'm like, I know that guy. I was like, oh, Hunger Games. He was one of the
Skarsgård in Vikings.
I'm not sure. I don't think so. But yeah, and I do actually want to watch Vikings. So yeah, he's again a very nice handsome young man, and seems to be quite a cool actor. And the trailer looks amazing. So and yeah, excited for Stephen Amell to be doing something different again. Obviously Arrow has ended now, and obviously we've always known that he's really into like his wrestling and stuff. So yeah, I'm excited, and I'm excited that it's out on Sunday, so we get to start watching it soon. Especially as we're never getting Glow back, because if you've never watched Glow, get on that. That's on Netflix. That's 80s women wrestling. Glorious ladies of wrestling. Gorgeous ladies of wrestling. Glorious is a great word there. Gorgeous ladies of wrestling. But I love that show. And then it got axed because of like a writer's strike or something. I don't know. We never got to watch it finish. So this is going to be a nice replacement.
Yes. So, I mean, that's it for the trailers. We got there in the end. It was a very, 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 very long 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like you said, there was just trailer after trailer after trailer after trailer after trailer after trailer.
Mainly this last week.
After trailer after trailer.
While we were in the Lake District, it was just like, I was like, there's another trailer, we need to watch it. And then it was like, when can we record?
Yeah, and obviously we were away on holiday, and then inconsiderately decided to release 2 big movies that we had to try and watch before we could record. Released on the same day, but we have managed to watch both of them, and we will talk about The Suicide Squad and Jungle Cruise. So, which one do you want to start with?
Well, we saw Suicide Squad first, so that's what we'll talk about. So, The Suicide Squad, not Suicide Squad. Of course, the reboot, they're calling it a reboot, but I mean, it's kind of still a bit of a continuation because you've still got like 4 original characters in there. Obviously, you've got Viola Davis' character, you've got Amanda Waller, you've got Harley, you've got Rick Flag, and you've got Boomerang, who are all originals from the first film. So it is continued in that way. It's just that we're not really mentioning any of the characters or the previous stuff. But yeah, God, there's just so much to say about this film. So I was so excited about seeing it on a big screen and kind of wanted to see it on IMAX, but also didn't want to wait. So we were in the lakes and we thought, well, there's a cute little cinema here I've always wanted to go to. I kind of wanted to watch Peter Rabbit in it because we're in the Lake District. That's what I always thought I'd see there. But I was like, I'm not going to wait a week to see the Suicide Squad. So we went. And a sort of dinner combo meal as well, didn't we, with our film?
$24.95,
yeah.
2-course meal.
Zeffirelli's or something like that it's called in Ambleside. Check
and
it out.
And a movie ticket in that price as well.
Exactly. And basically you go into the screen and it's such like a cute little cinema. Like it's kind of like your own home cinema, what you'd imagine to be a home cinema. Beautiful red velvet chairs, nice big screen, and we just chilled and it was great. And the film was... I did really enjoy it. The first half I was a bit like, oh, I don't know if I'm enjoying it as much as I thought I would. But then when Harley's kind of big stuff kind of kicked in, I really started to enjoy it. As they say in the posters and the trailers and things, don't get too attached because there's a lot of characters and there's a lot of characters there for a reason, and not all of them may make it through, and they certainly don't.
No, yeah, exactly. Obviously, we're not going to spoil it for anyone that hasn't seen the film yet. It's only been out since Friday here in the UK, and to our US listeners as well, it is being released probably when you're listening to this. It is released on the 6th of August, simultaneously once again on HBO Max and in the cinemas as well. So make sure you do watch the film. It's a great, gory, fun-telling. It's a great superhero film, been critically acclaimed as well, currently holding a 95% certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, which is insane for not just a superhero movie and DC movie as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, DC movies just like that have really been Dark Knight. It's probably only got that high before. So it's great for DC in the future of these DC movies. Maybe that's something that DC look forward to do in the future, rather than doing a big massive franchise. Just do these standalone movies, because
I think DC does that best for sure.
Yeah, but this film, you've got some really great characters in there. I know everybody has their own different favourite character.
I've got a lot to choose from.
I love Peacemaker. Obviously, as a big wrestling fan as well, John Cena was probably the funniest part. He was definitely the most comedic character within the whole of the film as well, with maybe a par with a little bit of Weasel as well, because Weasel is funny as well.
Love Weasel.
But yeah, James Gunn came over because he got sacked from Guardians of the Galaxy 3, came over to DC, created this wonderful, incredible film, and has obviously gone back to direct Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So yeah, I hope you all enjoy the Suicide Squad. It's not just a typical superhero film, it's a great action film.
Yeah, for sure.
Just with fancy costumes, really.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of what you see in a lot of superhero movies with like flying or anything like that.
No,
there's not a lot of massive superpowers.
No, there is superpowers, but not like you say, it's not it's not about them being super really. They just kind of use them as and when. It's more about the characters themselves and their stories and the journey they're going on. But yeah, they're all badass. And there's so many characters to choose from to like. And I don't know, I mean, I love Polka Dot Man. Obviously adore Harley. Ratcatcher 2 is quite cool. Obviously love Weasel. Michael Rooker's character, I cannot remember what his character's called. But yeah, and there's just so many to choose from. And to get involved with, really. But yeah, Harley's massive action scene is amazing. I absolutely love it, and it's great to see her like properly get her teeth in again, and kick some ass. So yeah,
definitely some great action scenes in there, and a lot of comedy in there, which you'd expect from a James Gunn film, with John Cena, Sylvester Stallone as King Shark as well. And there's definitely a lot of gore if you enjoy that as well as some of the deaths have got some of the greatest death scenes, not just in superhero movies but in any movie. There's some great fun silly deaths, and it's just a fun film, and a lot of people have said maybe this is going to be the most fun summer blockbuster of the year. So
I'd say
Suicide Squad
for sure. One thing as well that like I find funny, like I said, didn't really refer back to the other film much, but the other film focused so much on like how Rick Flag was so in love with June and their story, and how like, you know, it encompassed quite a lot of the film story, and yet it's like none of that ever happens. It's like she just doesn't exist, or maybe she does and she's at home and they have a nice quiet life and relationship. It's very, very separate from what he does. I don't know, but it's just never hinted at in any way at all. So I don't know if they've completely written it out or if they are just doing it as a that's the case, but we don't talk about it. Yeah, it's weird.
And if you do go and watch the film at the cinema or choose to watch it at home, if you do have HBO Max or any other means to watch the movie, make sure you do stay for the credits. You do have a mid-credit scene and an after-credit scene as well, so make sure you don't miss out on them. Okay, let's go back to Disney. Again.
So we finally got to watch Jungle Cruise tonight. Didn't think we were going to fit it in, but we did. Because I've been poorly all week, but we have seen it now. Wore my jungly shirt in recognition. I've been really, really excited about this one. Obviously, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who we absolutely love. Emily Blunt, one of our own, and Jack Whitehall, even more one of our own, and one of our absolute faves. Absolutely adore him. So yeah, I was super excited. Apart from also from the first trailer, it was so obvious, as everyone said on the internet, that it was just going to be the mummy story, the mummy characters. Obviously, with The Rock's character being very, very similar in a way to Brendan Fraser's character of Rick O'Connell, Emily Blunt's character being very similar to Rachel Weisz as Evie, and Jack Whitehall was playing the bumbling brother, just like John Hannah did in The Mummy as well. So you've got the adventurer, daring do adventurer, the young woman who's like wants to, you know, progress in career and you know, go and do her research, but she's not taken seriously by the men in her area. She goes off to go and do her research on her own, her adventure on her own, and seeks the help of this rugged, slightly annoying but handsome gentleman, and takes her bumbling brother along with her. And yeah, I mean, you've got the mummy right there. And there's a few things early on in the film that are straight out of the mummy, and I'm just like, I kept saying to you, like they've got no shame here. Like there's a classic scene in the mummy where Evie is on a ladder in the library and it falls and like the whole library falls down. And there's a similar scene with Emily Blunt on a ladder at the beginning of this film. I was just like, okay. But anyway, other than the similarities to the mummy, I did enjoy it. Partway through I was like, oh, I don't know if the script's that great. I don't think some of the lines are that great. I don't know what you thought, but it was only when a certain thing happened towards the end that we found out something in the story that I then started to enjoy it more, because it was different. And yeah,
I think obviously, like I said, it is a Disney movie, and I think of this film as kind of like a love child between The Mummy and Pirates of the Caribbean. It's probably the best way to describe the movie. Like I said, they want a treasure hunt to find some supernatural water thing or whatever it is that they're trying to find, and it's their journey on there.
Tears of the Moon.
The Tears of the Moon, there you go. And it's a beardless Jack Whitehall, which takes some getting used to.
Yes, it does.
There you go.
Yeah, yes. So there is, you've got all the mummy elements, then suddenly later on, this stuff starts happening, and I just turned to you and went, all right, Pirates of the Caribbean. I was just like, just bringing all of that in as well, which of course is, you know, a big Disney franchise which was built off a ride that's in the Disney World, just like Jungle Cruise, which obviously is based off the ride Jungle Cruise. The film definitely isn't what I expected. I expected it to be more of a kind of rip-roaring adventure, and I didn't expect the story that we got. I expected something different, but it was still enjoyable as a family film, you know. So obviously, definitely sit and watch it together with the fam.
Like I said, it took a little bit of a turn, and
Yeah.
maybe that was for the better, because
I think so.
like I said, it definitely improved the story and added a lot of the action in there as well. So it was all right. It was nothing special.
No.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a sequel, because you know it's Disney, and
yeah, I think they'd do the sequel in the same way they did the Mummy one. You know, like we're off now on a different adventure. We're off now on a different adventure, the three of us, somewhere else doing something else crazy.
Which could happen depending on obviously the box office performance. But yet again, with Disney, it's available in cinemas and on Disney Plus simultaneously. So if you choose to, you can watch it at home.
Yeah, which is what we did. We just like got it on Disney Plus and just chilled in the likes of home. I had been looking forward to seeing it in cinemas. Maybe if I saw it on a bigger screen, maybe I would have been a bit more like, woo! Let's do a few whoops.
Woo!
But you know, but no, it was fun.
Okay, and
unfortunately, we haven't managed to see Old, which we also had promised we were going to watch and review, but we've just not had the time, being poorly and
being away
on holiday and then poorly. Not great.
Just doesn't help at all.
No. So we will see it eventually,
and hopefully we'll watch Fear Street as well.
Yes, that is something else we promised you we were going to finish, which we haven't had time. So in the next 2 weeks, we will do that.
Hopefully.
And we'll be able to tell you more about Heels.
And there'll be
and Viva.
A few other films most likely coming out as well in the cinema, like I believe Respect will be coming out soon as well, starring Jennifer Hudson playing Aretha Franklin as well, which I'm quite looking forward to.
Yeah, she looks amazing. Sounds amazing.
But as we do on every episode of Cine Lovers, we always finish the episode with a kind of special mention or recognition. So
yes.
It came up on Instagram the other day. I think Mandy Moore posted a picture celebrating a 20-year anniversary of the movie. It got Mercedes excited. So she wanted to watch it on Wednesday night. So she watched that with my daughter Georgie. And
introduced her to it.
It is The Princess Diaries.
Ooh, shut up! 20 years?
20 years of The Princess Diaries, released in 2001. And yes, it's another Disney film.
Disney's great. Yeah, 20 years. I mean, oh my God, do you feel old yet? Because I do.
So, on the last episode, we had 20 years of Legally Blonde.
Yes.
And 30 years of Point Break.
Yes.
And now we have 20 years of Princess Diaries.
Yes. Yes, okay. We're getting older now. But oh my God, yeah, rewatching it, I can't believe how young Anne looked.
Her first film as well, just to
course,
mention. It was her movie debut. Very young Anne Hathaway.
Very, very young, yeah. As Jamie says, sat down and watched it with his daughter to introduce to it, and she absolutely loved it. Halfway through asking if there was a second one, and I was like, yes, there is. We can watch that.
There was a royal engagement.
There is a royal engagement. Yeah, so it was really cool to like see the excitement on her face throughout it, and like, you know, obviously wondering where the story was going to lead. So yeah, that was fun. It's just a classic. It's just one of the great ones from my teenage years, where me and the girls knew all the lines, and it was one of the films that we used to quote a lot. And yeah, I absolutely love it. It's a film that every girl should see. Apparently, from what my friend says, the books aren't as good. Apparently, in the books, her dad is alive and her grandma is a bit mean, which isn't exactly what it's like in the films at all, you know. Julie Andrews obviously plays Queen Clarice of Genovia absolutely amazingly. She's just flawless. I love her. Obviously Joe, I can never remember his name, the actor, but he's in Pretty Woman. He's amazing. I love him and their relationship. And yeah, it's such a good film. Absolutely adorable film. And it's a great film for, like, you know, teenage girls to watch. You know, like Georgie's going into high school, and it's a great one for her to watch and like learn about the different kind of characters of school, and you know, the kind of things you have to deal with, like arguing with your friend but still, you know, being friends, and the crazy nasty girls who like pretend to be your friend but aren't really your friend, and that boy that pretends to be who like you just to get some press, you know, because that happens to everyone. But no, yeah, it's a classic. Absolutely love it. So happy happy 20th birthday to the Princess Diaries.
Yeah, and I think that wraps it up nicely for episode 6. 6?
Yes.
6 of Cine Lovers Podcast. So, Mercedes, why can't you tell all of our watchers and listeners where they can find us on social media?
Well, all the usual places. Facebook, Instagram, at Cine Lovers Podcast. Yeah, we're not on Twitter or anything at the moment. But yeah, Facebook and Instagram, find us there. And obviously, we're available on YouTube for you to watch, or on Spotify, or any of the places you get your podcast to listen. Homework this weekend, check out Heels, check out Vivo, and if you haven't seen Suicide Squad and Jungle Cruise yet, go see them. And introduce your kids to Princess Diaries.
Yeah, and make sure to press that follow and subscribe button so you can watch every episode and never miss a moment. But for now, we are the Cine Lovers.
Cine Lovers.
We'll see you next time.